told Raja to do. Now my fucking life is ruined over your lie.
He's on the live stream ringside saying what he's going to do. So it's premeditated.
I think people misunderstood me. 100% of the blame goes on Raja. Okay? But if I say 1% goes on promoter.
The wrestling world is in an uproar after a shocking incident in the ring left everyone debating what really happened. While some believe it was a stunt that went terribly wrong, others are convinced it was a deliberate and premeditated attack. At the center of the storm is Raja Jackson, the son of MMA legend Rampage Jackson, whose actions have ignited a firestorm of controversy. Now, with legal threats, backstage stories, and emotional reactions from some of the biggest names in combat sports, this story is far from over.
Rampage is a great dude, a buddy of mine. We go way back. He's a wrestling fan from the Memphis, Tennessee area. But, you know, as a father, you know, it is obviously an unfortunate situation. But, you know, Raja, I think, you know, and everybody goes through this growing up. He's got to take a hard look in the mirror, and the man in the mirror don't lie. And what he did was absolutely, totally wrong. And, you know, he will pay for it.
Have you ever seen anything like that in all your years? And I know things happen, and I talked to Mark Henry, and he said what he had to say, and he stood by that veterans should never rib on these young wrestlers. He had that when he was coming up. You've been around forever. Have you ever seen something to that, you know, extent?
No, I mean, not to that extent. You know, I've been involved in all kind of scenarios, and one of the, you know, there was a battle royal, Steve, if you really want me to get granular here, but there was a Moondog battle royal, and there was a guy rolling the ring and gave Larry Latham some receipts back in the ring. And then the story of that is he rolled in and peppered him. I think it was about 22 times in about 7 or 8 seconds, because our camera guys went back. But that guy went to the back. He already had his car loaded and started and a driver, and they took off. And to this day, I've never seen that guy again. So, you know, there's all kinds of kind of crazy incidents, bar fights, in-ring stuff that goes down, all kind of crazy stories in our business. But this, you know, it's 2025 and kick and social media and the layers upon layers upon layers. But, no, you know, the word I go back to being held accountable.
It all started when Rampage Jackson revealed a bizarre backstory. He claimed his son Raja was attending a pro wrestling event when a wrestler who didn't know him hit him over the head with a can or bottle as part of the show. Rampage said his son, following his advice, didn't retaliate, but the incident clearly festered. This set the stage for the now infamous moment when Raja entered the ring and chaos erupted.
There's no words, bro. There's absolutely no words at all, bro. At all. It's disgusting. It's just disturbing, disgusting. And kick as a whole needs to do better, bro. Straight up, bro. Straight up. I'll just tell you guys this. I think that there needs to be some type of policy change. Some certain kick staff need to be held accountable. Moderation need to be held accountable. And there needs to be change immediately.
The footage is brutal. Raja picks up the wrestler, Psycho Stu, and slams him to the mat with a devastating move that appears to knock him unconscious instantly. But it didn't stop there. Raja then proceeded to rain down a series of vicious, unanswered punches on the defenseless man. It was a shocking display that went far beyond the boundaries of professional wrestling, leaving many to question if they had just witnessed an attempted murder on a live stream.
What's your take on this Raja Jackson video that came out? Because it seems like that's caught kind of not just in wrestling world, but like everyone is caught.
To be honest, it's hard to watch, but in a way, it's like he might have something like wrong, like maybe like anger problems. Because like, why would he do that? You know, and anybody that has trained or anybody that has a brain knows when someone's working or someone's like. And like that would be like me going with you right now, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick you up, and we're working. We're doing a WWE match. Like you could slam me in my head. Like I'm giving you my weight. You know what I mean? So like the guy obviously let him pick him up, and then slamming him like that is ridiculous. First off, especially being a guy that's trained. I know he's only 0-1, but like slamming the guy like that first off is ridiculous. Like any person in WWE can do that to each other. You know, it doesn't. That's not anything like people are acting like, "Oh, that's Rampage Jr." or something like that. Like. The guy jumped up for you to carry his weight, and he's trusting you to take care of his body. You know what I mean? And then he's throwing those shots, and like, I get you can kind of lay one in, like, you know what I mean? I can hit you like that, but the first one was like a fucking haymaker. He's trying to like kill the guy, and like it's just sad. Like I don't understand what happened. Like it's hard to explain what happened, and it looks bad for us too. You know what I mean? Like, and like anybody could do that. Like I can go in the ring in WWE and do that. To, like why I do that? No. Like you're supposed to have a trust. I mean, that's a different sport. It's a pro wrestling. You know, it'd be different if he said, "Hey, come in here, I'm a fucking kid. Like fuck you. Like I like really want to fight you." You know, and then yeah, beat the shit out of the fucking guy. But it didn't seem like that. Like he did the prop can. He's saying that, but then he apologized. Yeah. And like, is this kid? I mean, I don't know.
And the reactions from the combat sports world have been swift and severe. Legendary wrestler Jeff Jarrett called Raja's actions absolutely totally wrong, emphasizing that in today's social media world, everyone is held accountable. Streamer Adin Ross was disgusted and disturbed, calling for the platform kick to make immediate policy changes and hold their staff accountable. Dylan Danes, a trained fighter himself, said it was hard to watch and speculated that Raja might have anger problems, explaining that in pro wrestling, there's a sacred trust between performers that was completely violated. He's trying to like kill the guy, Danny said in disbelief. It's just sad.
Dude had like PTSD. It's like
so sad. It's so sad. I was actually gonna offer to help him like with money and maybe training. Like, and then he shot on the other guy. He couldn't threw the other guy down. He was like, so it's like the guy was letting you work with his body. Like, you know, when you're training and even you pick someone up in sparring, you're not gonna slam the guy on his head. Like that's basically what they're doing in pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Someone's letting you pick them up, and you're not gonna do that. But I like Rampage a lot, so it's like you don't want to blame Rampage. That's the only reason that I don't want to go too hard on his son, because Rampage is a legend. He's a great guy.
He seems to be kind of like perfect.
Yeah, but like if it wasn't Rampage's son, I'd be like that motherfucker.
To the exact same.
You know what I mean? Like that shit's fucked up. You know, to do to someone, especially an indie show like that, and you're a martial artist at the end of the day. You know when someone's unconscious. Like if it was like a street fight and you're in the fight to the death and you're trying to kill to protect your family, that's like something like that. Okay, I would understand that. You know, he's a 25-year-old man that's been training martial arts and has been around martial arts his whole life. It's sad, man. I mean, yeah, it's fucked up. And like, I feel bad for the dude that he did it to, you know. And it puts us back a little bit, you know. We're viral and it makes us look like we're fucking like or something, because it's I don't know. Maybe there's a deeper meaning. Maybe like he was just. Maybe he has something wrong with him. Yeah, but like snap like that, it's just crazy. Like the guy didn't even do anything. You know what I mean? He even said sorry after. He's like, I thought you were with camera. We were doing the work. Like everybody knows how pro wrestling works. You know what I mean? So it's very sad to see. I hope the guy.
Adding to the intensity, UFC fighter. If you believe Raja Jackson crossed a line that can't be uncrossed, hit that like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I guess maybe I need to reword it. There's also blame, 100% can go on Raja, but there's also blame with people that are involved in terms of, like, they could have done a better job.
Sure.
They could have done a better job. It's their promotion. They could have done a better job. Look, Raja is I've never met the guy. I don't know him. I'm not biased towards him at all. I have nothing to say other than the fact, like, he totally fucked up. Like, he fucked up and like, it's not even close. I don't know him at all. So I'm not here to say that, like, oh, he should be okay. No, he's not. He's going to go to jail for a long time. And people are saying, well, he's not even arrested yet. They're gathering all the information. I don't think they're gathering all the information.
But the story gets even more complicated. The wrestler who heroically intervened to stop the attack and who received stitches for his trouble has now broken his silence. He explained that his only goal was to pull Raja away from the unconscious Stu. He described the terrifying moment when Raja shot for a double leg takedown on him, trying to do the same thing he had just done to Stu. It was a clear indication that Raja was completely out of control, his rage uncontained.
And that's what you're going to see happen.
Eventually
there will be an arrest.
There's countless hours of video footage they're sifting through.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they know they have enough for arrest, but they want to make sure that they have enough to where he's not getting out on bail. He's not getting out nothing.
They're gonna slam dunk their case as much as they can because all that information is out there right now.
Yeah, and so I guess I don't know. There must have been some sort of miscommunication on our show on Tuesday, because I was not taking responsibility off of Raja, but I'm saying there's more blame to go around than just one
you're
person.
saying there's people that did not react the way they should have reacted. There's people that were not in place when they should have been in place based upon just the situation of what you had, but they didn't expect it, and some of them are not prepared for it.
That's true as well. Like, John, like, you can have 100% blame. And when I say 99.5% or 90% goes to him and 10% goes to the promoter, people blew up. And I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to get you to 100%. I'm just But I'm just trying to get you to 100%, which I shouldn't have. I should have just said 100% goes to him. But then also, there's also some more blame over here of another 20, 30% or 50%. I was trying to get it to equal 100 for all you people, but guess what? It doesn't matter. There's enough. There's all the blame goes on Raja. There's more blame to go around. There is more. I mean, like, you have people that could have stepped in and done more to help him.
In the aftermath, Rampage Jackson has been left to navigate a father's worst nightmare. He sincerely apologized to the pro wrestling community, expressing his deep regret for what happened. "I don't condone what my son did at all," he said, his voice heavy with emotion. "He dishonored my name. He knows better." But he also made it clear that as a father, he has to have his son's back while letting justice take its course.
Initial reactions is just like everybody else that is of sound mind. Same thing they thought about it. I thought it was an egregious act. I thought it was a aggravated assault at the least. And I thought that I think anybody who had a part of that should take a little bit of part of the blame. You know, it's that simple. I mean, Jackson, the kid, of course he's going to have a lot of blame to atone for. But whoever had him in there, they're going to take a lot of the blame as well. This was something that shouldn't have happened all across the board. No way this should have happened. My thing is this: I've had a wrestling school for 20 years. I've been running shows for, quite some time. This has, not come close to actually ever happening in the ring. Just because me as a wrestling fan, as a kid, I always knew what wrestling was. Ever since I was a little bitty kid watching it with my grandfather in Louisiana on the sofa, literally when I was 5 years old, I knew what wrestling was. I knew it was entertainment. I knew these guys wasn't in there trying to kill each other. And then when I saw that, it was something totally different. And for young Jackson not to know that this is entertainment, that's definitely going to be on him, and he's going to have to, hold responsibility to that. But whoever put him in the ring.
However, the legal storm is just beginning. According to reports, authorities are taking their time to build a slam dunk case against Raja, sifting through countless hours of video footage. Wrestling icon Booker T called the incident an egregious act and aggravated assault at the least, but he also placed some of the blame on the event promoters, saying they failed to protect their performers.
When I saw the video was Psycho Stu gave him his body.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't fight against it when he was up there on the shoulders of young Jackson. You know what I mean? He took the bump, and the bump was so devastating it knocked him out. Okay, now I don't know if that was supposed to be the angle, such as Rampage Jackson back in the day. With the big knockout from the big slam and the guy going to sleep. I don't know if they were trying to reenact that or not. But if that was the case, the match should have been over with right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All the extra added, blows to a unconscious guy. Even if the guy wasn't unconscious, after he got hit a few times, he was unconscious.
They do share in the responsibility and the blame for this. It should have never happened. In times that I know at Reality of Wrestling where we've had wrestlers involved in angles, it's always done from a very structured standpoint. It's always rehearsed, gone through, talked about, double, triple, quadruple checked, and not even just for our non-wrestlers, for our performers alike, for our wrestlers alike. Everything's done from a safety perspective. And that's just bare minimum rule number one of this industry. And Psycho Stu, his safety was not looked after in that moment. And thankfully the boys went and covered and got him off there as quick as they could. But it was a frightening sight.
Before y'all judge me any further, just please let me explain. Ready? That's a receipt, bitch. That's all the I told Raja to do. Now my life is ruined over your lie. I am not responsible for what another grown-ass man decides to do.
And then there's the online mob. Brendan Schaub explained how Raja was sitting ringside, reading a stream of toxic comments on his Kick livestream that were egging him on. He believes the online trolls, who don't care about the real-world consequences, fueled Raja's insecurities and pushed him over the edge. Now, those same trolls are nowhere to be found, while Raja is facing a future that could include serious prison time.
Right? And remember, how's Raja? He has to be in his early 20s.
I'll look it up
He's
on
a
that.
young kid. So Raja's sitting ringside, and he's on Kick. And on Kick, there's a ton of comments on there that are hyping him up, going, "Oh, you a bitch," blah blah blah, kind of egging him on. And Raja's reading those, and one dude, you can even say, he goes, "You wouldn't say it to my face, mother. Like, good luck. You wouldn't say it to my face." So there's a lot of negativity on there. It's very toxic, right? And they're hyping Raja up. He's a young man. This is one of the reasons you shouldn't read comments, especially on a live stream, because those people making comments, they don't give a flying fuck about what happens when they tell you to do something or say you won't do this. You a bitch, you got embarrassed, you're gay, whatever they're calling him. There's an insecurity in Raja, and you can see, because after this event, when we get to that, after this event, he's like, "Nah, I'm sick of it, man. Sick of being treated like I ain't no punk." It's like, whoa, young man. What in the world gives you that impression? People think you're soft, you're a beta, you're some cuck. Where are you getting this from? It's not from his dad. It's not from his training partners, because he has some MMA fights. It's not from his family. It's definitely not from his friends. It's from these trolls online who are egging you on to do bad things, and none of them are bailing you out now, buddy.
I couldn't understand why people were so mad. The stupid people actually think that my son snuck into the ring. And I was like, why they so mad? They thought he snuck into the ring and it wasn't part of the show. And they was like, well, he shook his hand and the guy apologized, and next thing you know, he goes in there and he sounds like, yeah, they did a deal to where he can get his gig back, so my son wouldn't complain. Like, Roger could have went to the police and shut him down. They're not supposed to be drinking and doing God knows whatever else they doing in the locker room back there. And they've been having problems with that guy before. And days went by, I wasn't supposed to say anything because attorney.
This incident has shaken the wrestling world to its core, forcing everyone to reevaluate where the line between performance and real harm lies. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: this wasn't just a mistake, it was a wake-up call, and what happens next could redefine trust, responsibility, and accountability both in and out of the ring.